Okay, so I just want to talk about this little project here. I got 27 little dogwoods, okay? And it took me like a couple of minutes to do this. Otherwise, it takes a lot longer. Like the way you want to do things, if you're doing something, anything like this, if you're doing seedlings or whatever you want, you put a little soil on the bottom of each and every one of them. It takes no time. As long as you do it all at the same time. It's much faster. It's much easier. It's less taxing on your. It just happens quick. And I get a satisfaction, but I think it's like a satisfying procession of doing things. And then you put them all together like that. Bing, bing, bing. That's all I had was about 30 of them. And then you fill them up with soil. But what you want to do is you want to hold it up like this and kind of dust it down, lightly sprinkle it in there. Okay, and what I like to do is actually let them sit for a little bit. Then you want to tap it down a little bit, shake it off. And you don't want to water it necessarily right away. You want to let it shock a little. You want them to go into a protective shock. And so you just let them sit there for a little bit. Then you're definitely going to want to water them. And you'll see it kind of compress when you water it. But it's not compressed. If you press on it, it's going to be more compressed. And depending on the soil type and the plant, you might want to compress it, you might not want to, but generally you want to compress it a little bit. Just put a couple finger holes in there and compress a little bit of it, and you can even top it off with some more soil. And that's a not completely compressed, but it's a slight compression that's generally make them take well. And then what you certainly want to do is put them in the shade. You don't want any direct light on them. And nice cool shade for a couple of days at least, and really longer than that, because you might have them in there a couple of days. You think they're fine, you put them out in the sun, and they're just all going to get really hit. So it's probably, since they're trees, you can have them for a couple of weeks, but you got to watch them. You don't want them to be totally light starved. But I want to describe even what is most important is to recognize the garden Karens. I had done Japanese maples like this, red leaf Japanese maples. Now, about the red leaf plants, it's on the Karen's list of like, it's not allowed to exist. Red leaf plants are not allowed to exist by the Karen insanity, by the evil Karens. These people, they shouldn't exist. I'm going to say that as far as that, because if you understand that we shouldn't have like sadistic people raising taxes and stealing your children, okay? We shouldn't have these cannibalistic psychopaths devouring, human decency. We have that, we do. And people all seem to agree that there is a war to fight. Now, these people are fighting a war of decadent psychopathy, narcissistic perversion. Like, you can see their whole collectives, large boards of committees of very foul, evil people. Like, when you see something like what's going on, the entire, airwaves are polluted. The people, with the planes up in the sky doing their malfeasance, they're just defending their narcissism, really. The narcissism of the very, 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 very wealthy people and all the sycophancy behind that. And it's a religion. This is most people are this religion. Everybody's religious. And almost everybody is of this religion. So I just want to, take it back to like rationality. But what are we doing here? We're growing native dogwoods. Dogwoods are a nice plant, but we don't see too many, groves of. Some places you see like rhodies and azaleas looking really good in the forest, but we don't see enough of it. And this is the kind of stuff you can do to make it the way it is. Instead of having, these desolations, you could have, it doesn't take much. I gotta quickly finish this off because you don't want them in the air too long. But that's my this is, to me, it's a zen, it's relaxing, and it's cultivating. I saw this on videos today, so it made me sick, because like, there's a bunch of narcissistic clowns who are using a lot of toxic, everything they're doing is toxic. Everything they're saying is toxic. Anything is, you know, to the garden trolls, everything's an invasive. They're always on everything. There's nothing that isn't an invasive to the garden trolls. People have to understand it. Everything is invasive to the garden trolls. But what isn't so invasive is something that you can go to the store and buy that's really expensive. And this video I saw, it made me so sick. They showed you like, this is what we need right here, and it's just very expensive. You can see that they bought them all from nurseries, and it's just like maybe 5 species of nursery plants that they bought and they put in a bank of topsoil that they had delivered, and there's no diversity, no life. Is no life in the soil. There's no life in the plant. It's this narcissistic, you know, stamp of approval. That's all it is. It fits the narcissist model of what is right. It is. I'm telling you, it's not right. It's not right. And on the flip side, what's right? There's a whole bunch of different things. I saw another video yesterday. Same thing. It was like, you know, well, this is the best. This is what we're gonna retake the forest woodlands. Here's an example, and it's a terrible example. And it's like it's mostly juniper with like a couple of like one sickly plant here, one sickly plant here, and there's no life in it. And you're like, oh gosh, this is an example for them that they're showing. That's the cornerstone standard, and it's not. That would be the end of things. And you go, you know, I can show you an example. I don't have it out in hand, but you know, you can take a walk into the old growth forest and understand. Like you'll see like maybe overlap of like several species that are growing in nice colonies and drift. That's what you want to see, and other things even more nice. And certainly there's a lot of that's not what these people are promoting. They're far from it. Like you understand, like what I just described, that would be, let's say, level 10. We want there. We want to get 11, level 11. But what they had demonstrated, that's like level 1. They're ending it there. No more. Only there, level 1. That's something that's very troubling for people. That's the most important thing, to bring that awareness into the people and go, guys, these guys. I saw a video yesterday also. It was a very good video, and I want to look into it more, because he was saying these are ancient forage foods, and he was on a mountain clearing with all hundreds and hundreds of different species. I don't know how many species of plants, but thousands of plants. Very many, very diverse, very healthy, and very abundantly. And I'm pretty sure he had a hand, or some people had a hand in planting it. But it looked fantastic, and it's like that was unique in my, you know. There's so many different unique forests, garden scapes, but this was a pretty good one, because it was like, you know, many acres, very big, and it was like, yeah, that's very nice diversity and healthy. That's better standard, not these very self-important, narcissistic, authoritarian, toxic people doing their, like, this is it. And I want to point this out. These people I spoke to yesterday and earlier last week, but it was about being complicit and you know, just let the evil people dominate. You can't. They say you can't control people. You can't change people. And well, that's not true. You can't but change people. You can't, and this is coming from people who want to mandate their communism. That's what they're doing. They're putting a mandate of communism, and certainly they want to control you. But so they're being sycophants and liars, where they're saying like, oh, criminals are good people. Criminals are always good people. You don't want to butt heads with criminals. Meanwhile, the civilians, they're being voracious, and it just comes down. That's the understanding people should realize, that you're dealing with these Pharisees. And it is very, like I said, there's a religion in the world. The common religion is these people. You want an example of what we're looking at? We got Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man. That's what we're dealing with. It's like this brain-dead AI, you know, Edomite people that are just like vanquishing moral integrity as a, you know, divine, you know, course. And that's what we're dealing with. And that is the common. Most people are of that. You know, they'll say something that I don't believe in religion. I'm not religious. I have a direct connection with the most divine God. And that's what most people are saying that. And people who are saying that generally are self-serving sycophants to all kinds of obscenities, and they're complicit. Like, who's the one bombing these children in the countries? You guys are doing that. I'm not. I'm fighting. I'm saying, hey, let's not do that. Let's grow trees.